Singing this song, I see I was wrong. To chain you down, I was the clown. I'm singing this song, I see I was wrong. To chain you down, I was the clown. I know now what you're all about. I've had the time to run out. I paid for the touch of your hand. Your love is so, so grand. Oh, baby.
Hello, everybody. As with you always, this is Max doing another live video today on XRP. I'm probably not going to do one on XRP. Actually, a little bit. And we do have a little bit about XRP for you guys. Sorry for the late start. It's been a very, very challenging day today. Trying to help my dad, trying to help him get back to just being normal. You know, it's very challenging being a caregiver. So glad to be here with you guys. Barely made it. Almost canceled the show, but I was like, you know what? I'm going to try my best to make it a good show. So glad to be here with you guys. Please smash that like. We're going to get into some headlines that we have, obviously. We have some sideline reporter news from Coochie Boy in regards to Ripple. You want to pay attention to that. Made mainstream news. Made it to USA Today. Pretty interesting. On top of that, we got some Jasmine news for you guys because we didn't have any yesterday. Pretty good segment. And then on top of that, we got a little bit of XDC. And for the most part, it's going to be a great show. So let's kick it into the comments. Please smash that like. It helps kick in the algorithm. But let's start off with the first comments of the day. And welcome a few guys, because you know what? That's what we do here. All right. Let's start off with liking the stream like it says. Give me just a second to have some fat juice, strawberry. Give me a moment. All right. And the first comment of the day is going to come from the one, the only, GG. Now, it might have been somebody else, and I just don't know it because, you know, the time not being normally scheduled at 6 my time, 9 Eastern. But nonetheless, GG, 1 and 1. We're having some fun. Well, thank you for being here, GG. Boom. Tim Shea, who says, hey, representing the 589, as in the 589th district of XRP Army. Tim Shea, Mayor Crypto Commissioner. Also one of the stepbrothers, him and Brian Dowie. All right. Brittany's also here. Welcome back, Brittany. Glad to have you. Thank you so much. And, of course, there's our guy right there, the one and only Mr. Boomer F it sooner. You may be asleep, but as long as you hear the Boomer F it sooner, everything is fine. Glad to have you here, Boomer. And River is up in the house. Boomer says that, I guess, the University of Oklahoma, you know, defeated, really? The Alabama Crimson Tide? Wow. That's a pretty big win. All right. Patrick Collier says, yo, CTN, what's up? What's up? Glad to have you. I also welcome River before. But yeah, Patrick, River, all you guys. Awesome. Welcome. XCC hit 0.076. Nice. It's consistently doing well for the top 100. How about this? The top 50. How about on top of this, XSwap? We'll show you guys a little brief segment about XSwap. All right. Brian Rise in the house. He says, happy hump day, everyone. Well, thank you very much. And I also see that you had I can't even, you know, when I was a kid, everybody else can do it, but I couldn't do it. See, look how messed up mine is. It needs to be further apart. I would always have to go like, I can't get it further across. So yeah, it's not working out, my friend, but live long and prosper, right? Anyway. All right, let's go further down. GS says, hello, everyone. Glad to have you here, GS. I got my windscreen on for my mic so I can enjoy being cooled off in this hot summer heat. And yeah, and knowing that, I don't think you guys heard a loud puh anymore, right? because I got this new windscreen. It's cool stuff. All right. I think when Larry goes to the beach and does the whole thing of like interviewing women at the beach, he needs to get a little windscreen, and that would help him too, because that way you guys don't hear all the wind hitting the mic, obviously. All right. Going down a little bit more, we got Wayne side. He's like, dudes, wind's up. Surf's up, man. Cha, man. Wind moon, bro. But welcome, Wayne side. Hola, ¿cómo estás? To Miguel. Welcome back, Miguel. Glad to have you here, brother. Boom. Mi hermano. All right. You guys are having a good time in the comments. Josh Cornwell's in the house. Give him a sub over at JC the Man. Glad to have you here, Josh. Thank you so much. Hope you're doing well. Hopefully you're enjoying what's left of your summer. Brian Riley says, hey, Boomer, how many times do you reckon you say F the government a day on Twitter? That is true. He does tell old Hillary and some other people to blankety blank themselves quite often. All right. Wayne said, my mom just passed away. Oh, no. 96 years old. Be glad you could still give care to your father. Yeah, he's almost 89. He'll be 89 September 6th. So what was that? Just a little over a month? Yeah. No, I hear you, man. It's been challenging because it's been 10 straight years for either my mom or my dad. My mom passed away in 2019. But well, at least your mom made it to a nice old age. And I'm sorry about her mom passing away, man. I really am. That's tough, man. I miss my mom every day. I always state that. Thoughts and prayers are with you, Wayne side. Sorry about that, man. All right. Yes, the 589th, and we got Jimmy Changa. Wow, what a name! Really? Either your name is Jimmy, and your gamer friends since the time you're a little kid or something like that. They're like, hey Jimmy, I know that you make some really good chimichangas. You're like, bro, they're Jimmy Changas. That might be the origin of how this happened. But welcome, Jimmy Changa. I love your name. And you should consider changing your avatar to a nice chimichanga where on one side of the tortilla, right, somebody has branded the letter J into the chimichanga. Hence a chimichanga. Yeah, there you go. Heck, you could even make the chimichanga Inu coin. Forget that, Max. I'm out of here. You mentioned non-utility. I'm out of here. Well, we're not utility talk now. We used to be. Well, sometimes we are. Anyway, that's besides the point. Welcome, everybody. Welcome, Jimmy Changa. Andrew Davis is in the house. How about that Caspa, Max? Let's check on what's going on with the Caspa. The Caspa. Yeah. You gotta come on over to Boston and put you some Caspa. Let's see what's going on with your New England clam Caspa. Let's pull this up for a second. And then we'll check out a few more of you guys' comments. All right. Caspa. Why is this keyboard not working? Great. Keyboard does not work. Hold on. There we go. It's a short. That sucks. Anyway, Caspa. Up 7%. Not bad. 15% on the week. Okay. All right, a few more going down. Boomer F and soon is going to be like Beyonce or Destiny's Child. No. I was telling Gigi that I want the Horns to beat Bam this year. Oh, you curb stomp them next. Okay. Well, I was thinking to myself, for one, it's August, but wouldn't it technically be like, if it was NFL, it'd be like preseason, and I'm pretty sure college hasn't even started. I was kind of wondering about that, unless you're referring to like, I don't know, some other type of thing. All right, Miguel, what is XRP going to be when? $10 in the next 5 years? Yeah, I think that's well more than achievable. I think we smashed $10 out of the park. There's people that disagree with me on that. That's okay. That's just the way I personally look at it. I mean, to move a tremendous amount of money, and then how about this, the lockup? We're going to get into this topic of the lockup here soon. I want to remind people, please smash that like. We're not doing too well on the likes tonight. We're at 19 likes. If we need to get this out to a broader base, it definitely helps. Last few nights, it's definitely helped. You guys have been smashing likes. And of course, the algorithm kicks in. Yesterday's show, I got to admit, yesterday's show it was challenging for me because, like, I want to bring that, bring the fire, but there was just, I don't know, there's just too much going on with me yesterday. But I'm gonna do a little bit better today, hopefully. But yeah, we had a good turnout for a while. Then it kind of had a dump. That's okay. AZ Marine Sniper said, "What's up? What's up? Glad to have you." Mr. Lambo's Crypto Talks in the house. Venom Hemi, welcome back. Wen Hellcat, that's your. I remember you saying that a lot, man. I think if you just keep holding on, you'll get there. Magic Power, hello. Guten Tag, Liechtenstein Exchange. Just be in the house. Thank you so much for being here. Michael Montclair as well. And if there's anybody I missed, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to do it on purpose. Crypto Oracle, glad to have you guys here. All right. We are going to now kick it into the outline of what we have tonight. Again, maybe you guys get tired of me saying this. Please smash the like. We're at 27 likes. Let's see if we can get up to the 40s. But nonetheless, I understand that it's a little bit of my fault because I put created the show a little bit too late. You don't get the notification if it's too late. So it's a combination of a few of those things, right? So I almost canceled the show tonight because of, trying to help my dad. He needs a lot of help, but he's okay right now. He's just kind of resting a little bit. So I was like, all right, well, I was like, man, I got like a 15-minute window. Boy, I'm going to try to make something out of nothing. All right. I'm being a little bit honest about that. But nonetheless, I was able to go through it quick. And I'm a teacher, for crying out loud. You know how many times you have to come up with material spontaneously for the kiddos? You guys aren't the kiddos. There's a few kiddos here, like Josh. Shout out to Josh. But nonetheless, appreciate you guys being here. And it will be a good show. Because if anything, you guys are sideline reporters. So anything you see today that you want covered, tonight's the night that gets covered. If it's not normally covered, it's normally covered. All right. One more reminder, smash that like. We're at 30 likes, 34 people watching. Now that's a little bit better. Thank you so much. Let's get into today's news headlines. And it's going to be, basically speaking, coming from CTN's sideline reporter, who might not even be here tonight. And it's Coochie Boy. Shout out to Coochie Boy. So this made mainstream news, and basically speaking, it comes from USA Today. All right, we try to give you guys that community-driven news. As you guys know, mainstream is not going to educate you on proper use case of blockchain and distributed ledger technologies. It's just something that, for the most part, I would say, comfortably speaking, 99% of the outlets will not do that. But today, check this out. Here's one with use case, right? It's in the top 5, even broke to the top 4 recently. Ripple's XRP. So what's going on with XRP? Well, here you have it. Ripple went ahead and locked a massive amount of 800 million XRP. Whew, not too shabby. Here's how much XRP the company still owns. Because let's face it, Brad Garlinghouse, he owns a bunch, right? Some of the other guys own a bunch. This was reported earlier today. And basically speaking, Ripple fintech firm has put the 800 million of it back into escrow, revealing in a recent report the true size of its XRP holdings. That sounds pretty bullish into a sense. When we talk about Jasmine, we're all looking for that fourth quarter lockup, are we not? Well, this is Ripple's XRP. So for one, it states that the major crypto wallet tracker Whale Alert, right? We report on Whale Alert quite often. They spotted Ripple moving a total of, like you saw earlier, 800 million of that XRP into escrow in 2 massive ones, right? 500 million, and the other one was 300 million of XRP. These funds were locked back up when basically August 1st, the fintech behemoth released 1 billion XRP coins in accordance with the plan of its monthly programmatic, I should say. Programmatic, my God, what's wrong with me? XRP releases. Thus, Ripple has kept 200 million XRP to inject them into the circulating supply through selling, and locked the remaining amount back up. Big deal, right? And if you remember before, David Schwartz was talking or hinting about some of this stuff back in April, especially if you've been paying attention to what we were talking about yesterday. I'm sure yesterday or the day before, I brought up a little bit about this. Okay, here's a report from Whale Alert 14 hours ago, gives you some of those particular reports, and gives you the different amounts basically. Now, it's not, like a perfect case of, an even number. You do see those amounts are kind of odd numbers, but, it goes along, it goes on a little bit more about this. According to the performance report in the second quarter, which is, this year, they released or I should say Ripple released this earlier this week. The blockchain firm still owns billions of XRP. I think Brad Garlinghouse in itself, last I checked, owns at least $1 billion. It's pretty crazy. In particular, its holdings can be divided into two categories: escrow holdings and the tokens the company holds on its balance. The number of XRP contained in Ripple escrow stands at, wow, what is this, guys? Hold on, 369. So 41.9 billion, right? XRP. While the company itself owns, 5.5 billion. Still a lot. All right. Tremendous a lot. All right. It says main highlights. Ripple has won, of course, that landmark decision against the SEC. We know that. Ripple XRP holdings have increased, slightly since last quarter. There's a lot more to it than just that. Goes on to also mention this. Annalisa Torres was split, stating that XRP is non-security, and despite some nuances of the ruling, this decision still allows Ripple to conduct business. You can look more into about this. Talks about some other things, right? About the thing becoming questionable. References Do Kwon for some reason. What's this part about Do Kwon? It states U.S. District Judge Red Rakoff, who is leading the legal case against Terraform Labs and its founder, Do Kwon, has chosen not to differentiate between the sales of Luna made by Kwon to financial institutions and to retail investors. That's interesting. It says this runs contrary to the decision of Judge Annalisa Torres in the Ripple SEC case and may even put in doubt in the future increasing chances that the SEC can make a successful appeal should the regulator decide to conduct it. So that's some of the recent news in regards to mainstream news, and it's Ripple. We cover Ripple XRP, I don't know, almost every day, basically, right? We'll get into the next bit of what we have for you guys, and it will be jumping into the Jasmy segment. I'm going to be honest with you guys, the Jasmy segment will dominate today's news for CTN. So if Jasmy is your thing, you're definitely going to get a decent amount of coverage today in regards to that. Please smash that like. Let's welcome a few more of you guys. I saw some familiar names enter into the chat. Crypto Oracle, if I didn't get a chance to welcome you before, I'm sorry about that. Welcome again. What's up, guys? Jasmy Army or Jasmy Navy, Jasmy Armed Forces, whatever you want to call it. Thank you so much for being here. Crypto Oracle. All right. AZ Marine Sniper, DCA, Jasmy, LCX, or Quant on your next DCA. Just shoot, if you have a portfolio manager, a proper watch list, pay attention to what you feel as though is a good sale price. Okay. So for me, like if I honestly don't see this happening, but unless there's like some crazy bad news, but like, if we're just going to talk about Jasmy for a second, I honestly feel as though like maybe a little bit of a pullback of where we're at with Jasmy. Speaking of which, let's pull that up for a second. We'll pull that up on the other screen. Hold on a second. Let me share this real quick. And with Jasmy, like you see, rank 145. Keep in mind when we had all that momentum before we got put in the innovation zone by Binance from Jasmy US or Jasmy US, Binance US, we were at 0.008. We were almost to a penny. Right now we're at 0.003815. BTC is down, Ethereum's down, right? I mentioned that we should get pullbacks. We did get pullbacks. Say what you want. Investor Place basically was calling a lot of this stuff long before everybody else was. It's kind of like why I listen to them. Honestly, they don't get everything right. I'm telling you flat out, usually speaking, from my experience within the last couple years, because I've been subscribed to him that long. They get it right about 9 times out of 10. And that is a very high ratio for me to want to continue to listen to them. So they have called some things in regards to the pullback. There's probably going to be a little bit more of that pullback. So, but again, we understand people get paid bi-weekly. Sometimes you get paid monthly, whatever the case be. And I know you asked a few of these. So for me personally, I would wait for a little bit more of a pullback, especially if you're the type of guy you're going for, like 100,000 of these. I'm just throwing that as an example. I know some of you guys do 50,000 at a time or less. We all have different budgets, right? There's nothing wrong with that. But my main thing is, I got to give you an example. So if the example is 100,000, then that's easy. At current prices, that's $381.50, basically speaking. At today's prices of Jasmine, they get you 100,000 minus the fees, right? Not counting fees, I should say. So with another pullback, I mean, if we got to like 0.03, maybe 34, 35, I mean, you're literally saving. I know it doesn't sound like much, but that's like $300, right? Say what you want, that adds up. For some of us, I've seen the reports. You guys are in the chat right now. Don't mention any names, right? You can mention it yourself. Some of you guys are literally eating ramen all the time, like, I don't know, maybe 20 out of 30 days of the month. Why? Because you're loading up still. Hey, whatever you got to do, right? I'm not bashing anybody for that, but I'm just saying that makes a difference. All right, on this other one, I want to show you guys something. What was it? LCX. Let's show LCX for just a brief bit. So with LCX is the Liechtenstein exchange. Just me in the house. Yes, shout to extra power. Look at that. So if it was, let's say your DCA was right now, what one would take the cake for me, guys? I'll be honest, it'd be LCX. LCX at this price level would take the cake for me, right? Because we were in the 5s, now we're in the 4s. All right, let's go to the next one. Quant. You guys know me. Quant's always my number one. I thought, Jasmine, you're number one. Well, I have multiple favorites. You know what I mean? I don't eat a Wagyu steak every day either, do I? Maybe I could afford more of a ribeye once in a while. Maybe I like a T-bone once in a while, right? Maybe I just don't want any of that. Maybe I want some fried chicken. Maybe I want an ice cream sundae. I'm not going to pick one. You just picked one. You're a hypocrite. All right. Well, look at this. Let's get into quant for a second. So, quant. Rank 41, $104.79. Get more of a pullback going into deeper into the month of August, which I think we could. For one, quant won't be ranked 41 anymore. It'll be a little bit higher. Maybe you'll be ranked, 46, 47, or in the top 50. And on top of that, the price would probably be maybe 100 or slightly less. So is that the bigger opportunity? Very well could be. So of the three, it's going to be obviously a decision for you based on how much you already have of it. If you haven't hit your quant target, let's say of 10 minimum, maybe you would consider that. Maybe you have another target for Jasmine. I'm just being hypothetical here. Let's say you don't have 100,000 yet, and you're only like 50,000 off of that. Well, let's say you owned, I don't know, I'm just throwing an example out here, like 9.2 quant, right? Because some people, they buy you slivers at a time. Well, maybe you go with one full quant, 50,000 Jasmine, and then you hit some of your targets. And then you see if you want to maybe make a position into LCX. But if it was based off of today and it was DCAing today, for me, I would have to go with LCX based on those prices. And I do pay attention to the prices of all three very closely. That's just me. It's not financial advice, okay? Just want to state that. All right, thanks, AZ Marine Sniper. Let's go further down into a few more comments. I also want to welcome Corey Bebay. Welcome back. Good evening, everyone. Good evening, Max. Thanks for everything. Crypto. Yeah, you guys are very welcome. I really love our community. I don't just say that to say that. Like in the future, maybe you guys who are new, and there might be that one guy who just consistently listens to our show and they're like, Max is cool, but I think he's full of crap, man. There's not going to be no meetup or any of that. Seriously, I look forward to meeting some of you guys in the future. Why wouldn't I? You know, I don't spend every single day with my own personal friends, but I spend it with you guys. So why wouldn't I not want to meet, shake your hand, and enjoy some barbecue or whatever we're going to be doing, or some water skiing, or shout to XXI, taking a break and playing some Madden, or whatever the case, right? Whatever we're into, you know. Yeah, I think it's going to be really cool, because you know what, that utility run will eventually hit. And I don't know about you, but if I was part of somebody's journey along the way almost daily, you better believe I want to shake that person's hand. I want to look them in the eye and say, you know what? Congratulations. God bless you. You made it. You stayed the course. You raced in this marathon with me every freaking day. We don't have shows on the weekends no more, but you get what I'm saying. It's been quite the journey. Some of you guys already made it really well. Shout out to, Salamander, for instance. Like, when he saw XDC go up, I'm sure he was just absolutely ecstatic. Smash that like, guys. Let's get into a few more comments, and then we will kick it back into the Jasmine coverage. All right, let's read this. You've been neglecting LCX. Yeah, a lot of times, like, think about this for a second, guys. There's not a lot that's going on with LCX as we speak, other than listings. And some people have flooded that and basically stated, like, I don't know about LCX. I don't know if I want to get into that. Huh. They might be building in the background. And how do we know that? Think of all the product. Look at XDC. All the focus is on XDC right now. Hey, rightfully so. Know this, LCX is very, very well connected as well. They might be doing some big things that we just have not heard about. So make your entry, right? I'm not saying you have to do that, but that's the whole point of having a proper watch list. If you've been into this whole crypto game for a while, or even if you're new, you could still go to these things, make an account. This is free, by the way, CMC. Make an account. You don't even have to install the app. I don't have the app installed. To this day, I still don't have the app installed. Kid you not, I just have a login and password. But I keep track of all my stuff. And I get alerts, even though I don't have the app. And alerts basically show me, hey, here's some of the price levels of like what's happened. And basically speaking, I'm good with it. I obsess over it. Maybe in the bad, I'm bad about obsessing over some of the stuff, but keep in mind my background, and I'll keep saying this. It's not bragging. It's just reality, right? I didn't become rich off crypto, but I did pretty well. 10K became 120K in 2021. I got bit by the crypto bug. Some of you guys never experienced any type of bull market yet. You will experience a bull market, but you have to know what you hold and why you hold it. If you quit, just like anything, you're not going to be able to reap that harvest. The harvest is going to come. All right, let's go welcome a few more of you guys. Maorb. Maorb. He's like, cheers. Well, cheers to you, my friend. Here's some fat juice, strawberry fat juice. Shout out to Rain. But glad to have you here, Brian Dowie. Always appreciate you, Brian. Boom. Right at you, my friend. Jason Rouse of Z Dichtenstein Exchange. I'm kidding. You're not part of that. Did you hear about Kia Hyundai Hedera partnership? I think we reported on Kia Hyundai the other day, but not a Hedera partnership. Well, that's interesting. See, this is where I didn't have time to get into everything today because I was busy. Obviously with my dad. It's no excuse, but I'm also human. Let me see if I can pull it up real quick. H-bar, who guy who probably like reported on this, like fat kid on cake, is basically Mason versus Louise. I'm willing to bet he did. Well, this actually comes officially from Hedera. All right. Well, you know what? Let's share this real quick. This is good stuff. Let's share this. And then we'll get into a few more comments. So before we get into that, Jasmine, this is worth pointing out. And yeah, let's talk about it for a second. So thank you, Jason Rouse. And please give him that warm welcome, everybody. Thank you again, Jason. This is what I like. Community-driven news, sideline reporting. So let's check this out. And of course, I didn't have a chance to review this, so there will probably be a lot of verbatim. Bear with me. So this guy, Coin Man, the H-Barian, one of the largest car manufacturers in the world, Hyundai, Motor, and Kia, introduced an AI-enabled supplier CO2 emission monitoring system. SCEMS, built on the Hedera network. SCEMS is designed to compute carbon emissions at every stage of the supply chain. Wow, that sounds really cool. Let's blow this up a bit. It says, quote, Hedera technology holds the key to revolutionary approach in managing carbon emissions and combating climate change, according to CK Park CTO Hyundai Motor Corps. I guess this was reported at 5:43 a.m. today, August 2nd. So you go further into it. They even have a commercial about this. My God. Well, we're going to play that here in a bit. Let's just read this for a second. It says that Hyundai Motor Corps, which says 0.1 on a bulletin, so there's a little bit more, and we'll get into that in a second. HMG Newsroom has announced the implementation of a supplier CO2 emissions monitoring system successfully integrated with Hedera to ensure data integrity and transparency throughout their supply chains. Guys, whether it's Hedera, whether it's DAG, whether it's Energy Web Token, whether it's Jasmy, whether it's Casper, or even the clam chowder version of Caspa, when you guys state that basically data is the new oil, and it sounds cool to say it, it's more than just sounding cool. Isn't it a reality? I think it's a reality. We're going to play this. I haven't seen this, so this is a real treat even to me. Smash that like. Thank you so much for being here. And I appreciate you guys come up with a, on the fly news, especially since I almost had to cancel the show today. So you guys are really, some people say Max does the heavy lifting. You guys are doing the heavy lifting today. I really thank you for it. All right, let's play this. Here we go. That was super cool. Glad to share that with you guys. Let's get into a little bit more of this for a second, because obviously there's more than one thing that was mentioned. All right. So when we see things like that, where it says like, one, that tells me there's a two, right? So let's just show you guys just a little bit more in regards to this. And if anything, maybe you didn't even realize there's more to it than what we just mentioned. All right. So again, here's a little bit more. Hyundai SCEMS will empower suppliers efficiently track, manage, and monitor carbon emission data, aiming to effectively address climate change. On top of that, basically states, that they're establishing sustainable, trusted, and auditable supply chains secured by and with the Hedera network. All right, here's a quote from Sung Hyun Hong, head of Materials Research and Engineering Center, of course, for Hyundai and Kia. For the record, I never drove a Hyundai, but I drove two Kias in my lifetime, and both of them rode like a dream. Really, I like those cars, to be honest. All right, so let's get into a little bit more into this. Here's number 3. As one of the largest car manufacturers in the world, Hyundai's integration of Hedera marks a significant milestone for sustainability within the auto industry. We are proud to provide the infrastructure for this initiative to drive towards a greener future. How many times do we always mention Hedera, and especially Algorand, as being the greenest of the greens when it comes to distributed ledger technologies, right? Can't call Hedera blockchain because of the hash graph consensus algorithm, right? The gossip protocol. So that's it on this little brief outline. Super cool to share this, in my opinion. And, yeah, thank you so much once again for sharing this with our community. We'll read just a couple more comments, and then after that, we are going to kick it into the Jasmine coverage because I promised I would do that. All right. So, yes, thank you again, Jason Rouse. Like I said, really appreciate it, man. All right, let's go further down into the comments. Brian Dowie, so glad to see you. I was kind of wondering if you were not going to be here tonight, but I appreciate you, man. Boom, another dab to you. All right. Corey Bibe states, Max, I understand Jed and Elon have a partnership with Vast and SpaceX. Yes. I believe Jed spoke about a layer 2 payment channel protocol. Do you think he's talking about Starlight? Yes, I do. I know I talked about this briefly in that video that we did not that long ago. I do believe that we will start hearing more about this, but it's the timing. And I honestly think that, let's face it, Elon Musk, he's all about timing. How do we know that? Perfect case will be X, right? You know darn well in the back of his head when he came to, with a sink for crying out loud to Twitter headquarters in San Francisco, that in the back of his mind, he was like, you know what? I'm not telling this. He probably didn't tell a soul. I don't know. Maybe he told his best friend or whoever he's intimate with. Who knows, right? Some secrets. But other than that, he had in the back of his head what he was going to do. You better believe that we're going to hear some things in the future, but it's got to be the right timing. But yeah, I think you're onto something. I think this makes sense. And, how about this? If Dogecoin is a joke in the past, people said, this is just a joke. That joke became, God, man, if it wasn't for Dogecoin, I wouldn't even be here right now. I would even say Shiba Inu wouldn't be here right now. True. But if those were considered jokes, are we going to treat this whole thing of, like you're saying about layer 2 payment channel protocol, take that as being a joke because we're tokenizing Mars? That concept seems so far out. So far out. Guess what, guys? You want to also seem like a far reach was the concept of what we were talking about yesterday, right? The QFS, the quantum financial system. My friend was talking about all this stuff at the beginning of this new century, the 21st century. He was literally talking about, like in the year 2000, about the World Economic Forum, the central banks, talking about the quantum financial system, all this stuff. And I used to think, man, I don't know. I love my friend. He's my best friend, but he's a little out there. You know what I mean? And then recently I had to apologize to him. I'm like, you know what? All that stuff you talked about many years ago, I'm literally seeing it unfolding right before our very eyes. You talk about CBDCs, all this stuff. So just because it's hard to grasp some of this right now, or the tokenization of Mars, come on, guys, think about it. I mean, some people say, well, within 20 years, in reality, I'm thinking it's going to be a lot less than that. I'm honestly thinking we get I should say colonize Mars, but we get something going on maybe before 2030, right? I mean, you talk about a space race. We're making dramatic leaps in, jumps in technology. Look what happened with the whole Chat GPT thing. And then now we have other rival companies from Microsoft and Google and you name it. Jordan Peterson's right. Like, there's going to be huge leaps and bounds of AI technology that's just going to blow us away. All right. Just a couple more comments because I know we're losing some people. The death cross is now evident in XRP candles future. Sorry, Red. Hope not. From Michael Montclair. Well, thanks for being here, Michael. Corey Bibe, or maybe incorporate Sorbonne into the mix. There's a lot of money in space. Yeah, there'll be something that will be big for Sorbonne. To just think there's only going to be one project that's good. I mean, in reality, all you need is one. But I think honestly, it's going to be a perfect case of like there's a handful of these and so on. Give me just a second. I got to check this real quick. Sorry about that. All right. Let me just answer her back real quick. And after that, I'm going to mute this. All right. Sorry about that. All the interruptions today. Okay. So we are going to now. Oh, sorry. Let me read two more comments because, I mean, you guys got some good questions. GG states, H-Bar has some good news today. Hyundai Motor. Yeah, we shared that earlier. Brian Riley says, Max, you need to join Dip Space. Decent info. You definitely take the cake with your research and deep dives. Thanks. Yeah, I appreciate those guys giving me a shout out, but it's not about that. It's basically just keeping everybody informed. I'm not trying to enter in some kind of popularity contest. That's not my thing. I mean, yeah, I want more people to obviously tune into the show. I mean, I guess it kind of is, but I was shocked with some of the info you told me about how he didn't apply to be the ambassador, right? Because he had my vote, right? And I think he had a lot of people's vote. But yeah, was it Zippy? He told me about, the one on Sundays. I will try to eventually come to a Sunday one. If they want me to share the stage or be a guest speaker, I mean, that's cool. I'll try to do that. But if I show up to those, it's basically, I'm just trying to learn more myself, just like you guys. But yeah, Dip Metaverse is awesome. And he's been doing this well longer than most. And he deserves it, basically, but he didn't want to apply for it. He feels as though, like you said, that they might suppress some of the things he wants to share, and that's understandable. I just hope that somebody else will get selected. If I get selected, I don't see me getting selected personally, but nonetheless, we'll see what happens with that. So all right, let's finally get into the coverage of what we have. All right, please smash that like. We're going to jump into the Jasmine coverage that we have for you tonight. All right, so let's go ahead and get into it. I'm just going to get rid of some of these tabs real quick. I'm going to give a shout out to 279. He's another Valley of the Sun person, right? Phoenix metropolitan area. And, there's a lot of people here in the Phoenix area that are big proponents of like DLT, blockchain, and all that. I think it's pretty cool. All right, so let's get into this. Shout out to 279 once again. Please give him a follow over at Jasmine Promoter. Goes on a little bit about this whole concept of Society 5.0. And I want to state this. As much as I want to just release this video that you guys don't even know about, I got some great footage of the concepts of Society 5.0. And when I eventually release the video, it's going to be called something like, the Internet of Things, Society 5.0. What's it really going to be like? You know what I mean? And I'm actually going to give you some really like awesome visuals. And I may take my phone because, it's got a good camera on it. And I might try to experiment with some things, right? To make it just that much more pizzazzy. I'll actually kind of make it like almost like a trailer, but like give me some of that research too. So it's going to be a little bit different than what you're used to. But we'll be on the lookout for it in the future. It ain't going to come out anytime soon, but it's going to be pretty sweet. Anyway, let's jump back into this topic. He says he would like to explore the declining birth rate in Japan. That is something worthy of a mention. All right. Tara Kono mentioned some of these key things in his last interview. Japan's birth rate has been decreasing, and the creation of Society 5.0 aims to improve work-life balance, allowing citizens more time for family and raising children. Now, this right here, even if you're not a proponent of the concept of Society 5.0 because you don't like the idea on paper of like the concept of, this sounds like 1984, Big Brother and so on. To me, not exactly, right? There's a difference between China, right, as in Red China, the People's Republic of China, compared to Japan. 15-minute cities in, places like Beijing, right, is a totally different type of totalitarian approach compared to what Japan is trying to do. Now, while we may not understand some of these concepts here in the United States, and I'll be honest, I don't ever see like a 15-minute city or, smart cities in Texas and other places like that. I'm not running down Texas. I love Texas and other states that are, pro, constitutional rights and stuff like that. But the key thing is this: there's a difference between the Far East and where we live at here. I've said that numerous times. But over there, these people are very, very busy. Not to say that we're not busy. They're always on the go, right? And so for a lot of them, they may only get like a 45-minute to 1 hour window. If you can create any type of thing that's going to increase more time through modern technology for these people to spend it quality time with their families, is that such a bad thing? Just saying. So he says he believes that Jasmine's platform, along with the remote work product, could potentially increase the chances of conception when men and women spend time together. Yeah, men and women. Yeah, at the end of the day, 1+1 = 2, right? We get where he's going with that. So Jasmine Secure PC plans to align seamlessly with Japan's forward-thinking concept of just that, Society 5.0. Which seeks to build a human-centric society using advanced technologies like AI, Internet of Things, big data to address challenges like the aging population and low birth rate. It says in this ambitious initiative, the Secure PC plays a crucial role in liberating both men and women from traditional work settings by promoting remote work or work from home arrangements. So this is something that you got to think about for a moment, right? I know we're talking about Asia. We're talking about Japan. Okay. Some people don't even consider Japan, I guess, an Asian country. They're like, it's, they're Pacific Islanders, whatever you want to call it. Right. I was always raised that Japan's part of Asia. Teach us on. Right. But my key thing is this: in Europe, for instance, like, their work week isn't as much as what we have here, like a 40-hour week and so on. They even, I believe, get an extra day off. Think about that for a second. They understand that more time with the family means kind of like what Japan is talking about with, when they talk about data, happiness through data, which sounds crazy, right? But, a harmonious lifestyle is the end goal, So is it too far different from what they're trying to accomplish in Europe, like places like Italy and so on, right? Even though it's not the same type of tech, I think it's the same type of outcome, right? More time with the family equals happier people, which means more productivity. That's the bottom line. It states, by automating laborious tasks with AI and robots, this will provide more free time, which Japan hoping citizens will use it to focus on starting families. I mean, if you have no time at all, it's just work, 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 work. I'm not trying to reference that song from Rihanna. You're not going to have a lot of time to, rumble in the jungle, right? So it says by embracing Society 5.0 principles and using the Secure PC, Japan aims to balance technology and people's well-being. Basically like what I just said, right? So the combination of Jasmine Secure PC and Japan's Society 5.0 presents a positive vision for the future, where tech benefits individuals and society as a whole. As more companies adopt this approach, Japan's efforts to create a harmonious, I said it earlier, did I not? Yeah, I did. And thriving society. Well, it's because they always mention it, right? With easier conception and stronger families become an example for the rest of the world. For the rest of the world, you got to keep in mind, right? Sometimes certain countries have to be guinea pigs before you get more of that widespread mass adoption of these basic concepts. Now, for some people that are new to Jasmine, they're like, I don't understand what the heck this has to do with the token. You got to understand, it's not what the token necessarily does, it's what the token is connected to. If you're having perfect situations where you have a super wallet for crying out loud, and like we talked about the other day, that new company that says scanning your fingerprint, scans your little, like, it scans your eyes, scans your vein, your finger, all sorts of things to quickly be able to get you on board of a bullet train, a bus, you name it, for you can quickly and efficiently have this like ever flowing, or I should say flow, harmonious flow, no pun intended, of this society, right? Society 5.0, which is just like a well-oiled machine, but taking out the concept of actual oil, right? The carbon out of it. He, of course, notes, declining birth rates is a significant issue, not only in Japan, but worldwide. I mean, obviously China. And it's possible that the intention behind creating Society 5.0 was to establish an environment that promotes family in Japan. Even here in the United States, right? We have declining birth rates, do we not? Some people blame that on the concept of millennials and, them not reproducing, like, Gen X and so on. True. These, of course, are just his personal thoughts. I thought I would share it as well. But we're not going to end it right there. All right. I want to get into a little bit more about what we have in regards to this. So on this next part, I want to show you guys this. All right. And if anything, this comes straight from Hara himself. All right. So the other day, some of you guys, I even saw Boomer, right? Boomer F and Sooner was saying, is this whole thing of Jasmine Binance Japan a nothing burger? It's a nothing burger rate currently speaking. But I think here soon it will be something that's more than a nothing burger. Now, I was under the impression that we had the unbanning of foreign stablecoins, but we did not, right? We're talking about USDT, Circle, and so on. Now, I don't have information about what's going on with USDT as far as that being unbanned. I do have some information that may have flown under the radar for you guys in regards to Circle. So, if anything, on this, we're going to tie a little bit of that Stellar, right? And also that Jasmine together, right? This will be the second time I've done something like this. But nonetheless, check this out for a second, right? Back to Hara. He says, it's nice to meet CoinStore users. Now, we're going to get into the whole concept of CoinStore in a bit. He says, Jasmine plans to aggressively expand to Southeast Asia this year. I think that you've already seen that, that seed has already been planted since the beginning of this year, has it not? Especially in Hong Kong. Says, talks about the Indonesian region. Talk about, for instance, Bajit, right? One of you guys in the comments, I don't know if it was Chi, I don't know if it was Din Yu, aka Din G. I don't know if it was Magic Power, but one of you guys stated that Bajit, the I in Bajit, stands for Indonesia. I wasn't aware of that. So it makes sense to me, this whole concept of aggressively expanding to the southeastern region and especially Indonesia. For island country, a lot of people live in Indonesia. Okay, so they have already begun to roll out this original product, right? They have also entered into this partnership as part of this effort. They also plan to exhibit at conferences and expos. They've already done that, right? We've already seen them consistently do that, even with all the flutters, want to focus on the whole concept of, the bad news of Binance US, and they just keep focusing on that. If they don't focus on that, then what was the other thing they focus on? Oh, look at this all-time chart, 99% down. Okay, you got to keep in mind, look at how much was in the circulating supply. Look at what the market cap was at that time. It wasn't even like barely $1 million, right? Big differences of where Jasmine is now and where it was then. But they want to reference the same chart. If that's all the research they got, let them bring it. At the end of the day, do more of your own research. Come to your own conclusion. Now, this is financial advice. Jasmine Inc. is a company that develops and provides IoT platforms. We know that. Internet of Things. When all things are connected to the internet, clothing, food, housing, and movement, which are closely connected to people's lives, this will change dramatically. Jasmine's mission, and I want you guys to see this if you're a first-time person who ever connected and don't know much about Jasmine. If you want to know about their mission, look at this. This is straight from Hara. He knows about their mission. Boom. Jasmine's mission is to create and provide a platform that allows anyone to use things easily, safely, and with peace of mind. It's one thing to have this concept of the personal data locker and so on. Sounds good on paper, but do people understand it? Well, that's something we try to consistently keep you guys into the know by giving you different use cases about this. Or if anything, like the other thing that we showed the other day, another utility layer for Jasmine, a new partnership, right? It says nowadays, important data generated from our daily lives tends to be held by a limited number of companies, right? Facebook, aka Meta, Google, Amazon, Apple, some of the other ones. One of the goals of the Jasmine platform is to restore the sovereignty of data to its rightful owners and to enable the safe and secure use of individual data. To this end, Jasmine will fuse Internet of Things with blockchain tech to prepare a platform that can be widely used across industries and business sectors based on unprecedented ideas. Right. The JVCEA, aka the FSA, formerly known as the FSA. You gotta keep in mind, Jasmine was the first regulatory compliant blockchain project in Japan. Hence why it's called the Bitcoin of Japan. I know people don't like it being called that. That's not the point. That's why it gets that title, right? Because it was the first. Jasmine's team is composed of members with diverse and rich experience. Yeah, the Sony connections. It doesn't just end there. Genki Oda, SBI Japan, BitPoint, He's literally part of the JV CEA, FSA. So many abbreviations. Sometimes I can't keep up with it all. All right. But yeah, look at all the ones that they're connected to: electronics, mechanics, telecommunications, devices, system integrators, designers. They're going to provide the best, not just like an okay, but the best IoT platform for each of our customers around the world. Some people say there is no way they could provide the best. Well, last I checked, that Sony did produce some of the best technology for numerous different devices, did they not? Like literally what Steve Jobs was demonstrating a while back, in regards to that camcorder, right? That was a breakthrough with HD technology back in the mid 2000s, like 2005 and so on. But he showed you that device cost basically $3,500. How would you just like to have, like, for instance, an Apple iPhone that could just put that right into your phone, right? And now we see everything standard nowadays is even on both on the iPhone and Android devices, you have these technologies. It's pretty awesome stuff. But you better believe that we're not going to dismiss Sony, right? That is their connect. That is their plug. All right. So basically speaking, coinstore.com, they have this new token listing for Jasmy. A lot of us don't know about coinstore.com. Let's be honest. They're not as big of a platform as some of the other ones, right? But it is a big deal. It's nice to see yet another one for Jasmy to be on. That's pretty cool. All right. The next part of what I want to get into real quick before we kick it back into the comments. It says from this guy, and I've seen a lot of his tweets, Cyan1K. He says, are we bullish on Jasmy right now? And what I like about this tweet real quick is this. It's a reminder of what has been going on in Japan, and especially with Jasmy. So check this out. So he says taxation amendments on unrealized gains in Japan, not punishing people for those capital gains, right? Different narrative, especially what we got here in the United States. Super wallet and development. I don't have the answers. And by all means, nobody's giving me secret information about some of the stuff. I don't have a quant papa of Jasmy. I wish I did, but even then, I'm not going to be able to share some of that stuff. You know what I mean? But the point is, I personally believe that the super wallet will be out by the end of the year. To me, that makes sense. Okay. I have called it right, at least on one thing this year, right? I did say that I feel as though we would get a Ripple victory against the SEC. That happened. So far I'm doing pretty good, right? I've also called some other things, right? Where, people are like, no, nothing, no hints of any bullishness is going to happen. Look what happened with that. So it's not about, always being right. It's just looking at some data. That's all it is, right? I could be wrong on some things. How about this? Listed on Binance, Japan, after prior making the innovation zone. True, right? That was bad news. Turned bad news into good news. Now, I agree. Just having a listing on Binance Japan right now is not going to get the job done, right? Being able to swap it and stuff like that, just not quite going to be able to get the job done. We want to be able to see spot trading. Otherwise, yeah, Boomer F and Sooner is right. It's kind of a nothing burger at the moment. We're going to get into that here in a bit. Q4 lockup. Lots of rumors about it. Only seeing one little snippet about it. Is there anything going to come out of that? Jasmy, the team, Har and all them, they're going to have to eventually address it. Again, if you're getting your hopes up of 100% lockup, or 100% lockup, but like a significant lockup all at once, I'm telling you flat out, that's not going to happen. I think it's going to be in increments, and I think, if anything, they're going to wait for the right moments. Again, I keep saying it, but for you newcomers, please understand this. There's a thing called the Bitcoin halving. It's going to happen in April of next year. It ain't going to make sense to lock it all up before the halving, right? At the end of the day, it's kind of like, the concept of Independence Day, 4th of July, New Year's Eve fireworks, right? Are you going to shoot off the whole grand finale before the grand finale is supposed to come? No, you're not. So that's one way of looking at it. 97% plus total supply introduced. Sony connections. We talked about that how many times? The many patents of Kazumasa Sato. Even showed you another patent yesterday or the day before that. So they're always innovating. KPI targets of $17 by 2026. Again, I get where some of you guys are coming from, even on a tweet from Biggie Smalls, not the real, I wish was the real Biggie Smalls, RAP Biggie Smalls. But anyway, he says If they don't get close to that KPI, a lot of you guys don't feel like they'll get close to it, but a lot of us feel that we'll get to $1 at least. And that in itself, I don't know about you, but I'm not complaining about that. For some of us, that's life-changing money. Or some of you guys would say life-changing money, right? All right. So on this last part, I want to get into this. And this is something that may have flown under the radar for you a while back. So please smash that like for some Jasmine and some things that you may not have been aware of. So I have to address the big elephant in the room. And that basically is, Max, what the blood clot, man? We got basically Jasmine on Binance Japan, no spot trading. You could do a swap. It's just listed there. Whoop de freaking do, man. What about some of these other platforms, Coinbase, crypto.com, where they have listings for cryptocurrencies, but you can't trade them. Remember XRP? Yeah, I'm with you, my friend. I totally get where you guys are coming from. So I was under the impression that we got the unbanning of the foreign stable coins, but I even noticed there was no official announcement, but everything kind of led to okay, well, maybe that actually happened. No, what was different was there was the stable coins domestically, but the foreign stable coins, right, as we know, enabling a whole population of people to have access through pairings, that's still a big deal. And if anything, that will be huge for Jasmine because they did enter Binance Japan. So keep in mind, spot trading gets enabled, the pairings get enabled by actually getting verification of these foreign stable coins being unbanned, and then this new thing with Binance Japan, again, access. It's one thing about adoption, but the access of the pairings has always been crucial. So a while back, right? This was July 5th, and we were focusing on so many other things. We have talked about a little bit about this, but hear this out for a second, because right as we speak, USDT and USDC, aka Circle, is still banned over in Japan. But they stated that by summer, it was supposed to be by June, that this was supposed to be unbanned. Remember what I also said? It may get delayed. So let's jump back to this. This was originally posted from CoinDesk. It was in July. Circle considers issuing stablecoin in Japan under new rules. Again, this is what flew under the radar, right? I don't think we did report specifically on this. We talked about some of the concepts. You'll see some people in this little brief interview that you recognize. But if anything, what's going on with this? So it says Circle CEO Jeremy Allaire expressed interest in partnerships in the country, given the new rules governing stablecoins have come into effect. We're going to play this. I know some of you guys kind of give him hell sometimes because you're like, this guy looks like he just, tied one on. Hey, it's the message of what counts, right? So we're going to play this. It's only 6 minutes and 20 seconds. Listen to the message. We'll get more into this. And if anything, I'll give you my thoughts on where I think we're going to go with this. Smash that like. Here we go.
Co-founder and CEO Jeremy Allaire said the company is considering issuing a stablecoin in Japan under new rules. Emily, you've been following the story closely. Talk to us about the new legislation that came into effect on June 1st.
Sure. So CoinDesk Japan, our colleagues at CoinDesk Japan interviewed Jeremy Allaire about Circle and some of their thoughts about the Japanese market. And basically, what Jeremy Allaire told them is that Circle is considering issuing a stablecoin in Japan. Now, on the surface, this might not seem like such a bold statement. Okay, he's considering it, he's looking at it, but it's actually very significant because until recently that would have been impossible, and now it is possible because Japan, and I think a lot of people don't know this, stablecoins were essentially not allowed in Japan until very, very recently, and that's recently changed. Now, it's not going to be easy to do this. There's quite a process to go through, but Circle is one of the players that I think sees the market opportunity in Japan. Whether or not they're going to issue a stablecoin in Japan remains an open question, and there's a lot of hoops that they would have to jump through in order to do it. But I think the fact that we have such a major player now exploring the Japanese market really sort of signals the beginning of a new era in Japan, which is like the beginning of the stablecoin era, which has not been the case up until now.
Yeah. So how essentially do we know anything about how it would work? Or I assume this is a stable coin that's based on the yen, correct? I mean, they must think that there's some demand, or there will be a demand for it.
Well, I think, Jeremy Allaire obviously was, careful and there's not, we don't know exactly what Circle's plans are again, or if they're even going to do this. But I think now there is possibility for both yen-based stablecoins and dollar-based stablecoins. Now, I think from the Japanese perspective, what I'm hearing is that there is some interest in having a yen-based stablecoin because that's just something that could potentially just increase the usage of JPY. So I think just from a policy perspective, I think there's definitely interest in that and just sort of, creating sort of like easier transactions, in sort of a blockchain crypto world via JPY stablecoin. So I think that is part of the goals for Japan here in doing this. I mean, it's really notable here that at a time when, the US, for example, I mean, there's been so many stablecoin bills, right? We're always talking about them on the show, and we have yet to see one become a reality. And, it's interesting that Japan would sort of choose now to kind of open up to stablecoins. In fact, they're one of the first countries to do so, clearly because they see some sort of opportunity here, rather than risk. However, it's worth saying that this is going to be a very, very strict sort of regime. Like, for example, say you have a stable coin, Japan is requiring that like the money that backs that stable coin is basically kept in Japan, right? So they want, total one-to-one redemption. So I think it's fair to say that there are some stable coins which will remain nameless, major stable coins out there that probably will not make it into the Japanese market because I don't think they would agree to such terms. And, there's only certain type. Yeah, I mean, you can name them.
One that rhymes with feather.
but but there are other rules in terms of like only certain types of institutions can issue stable coins. So again, not going to be easy. This is generally the case with Japanese crypto regulation, is that like they're very forward thinking, they're very welcoming, but they're very tough. So I think that's really the question, is like how this is going to play out and what kind of players will make it into the Japanese market. But I do think Circle's statement is definitely significant.
Zooming out, Emily, this sounds very similar to what we were just talking about with Yat in regards to Hong Kong being very welcoming to Web3, but also having quite strict regulation. Can you tell us about the broader Web3 perspective in Japan outside of stablecoins? What's happening there?
Yeah, I think Hong Kong and Tokyo are quite similar in a lot of ways, because both of them, and again, it's so different from the US. I mean, when you come to Tokyo and you see, so I was, at a crypto conference in Kyoto, there were, I don't know, the organizer said there was something like 9,000 people there, mostly from Asia. I mean, just really like a lot of energy and optimism, a very different vibe from the US. And, you have the Japanese government, you had the Japanese prime minister actually give an opening address at this crypto conference. He didn't really talk about crypto, but still, can you imagine President Biden giving an opening address at a crypto conference? I find it slightly hard to imagine, right? So just on the symbolic level, Japan is kind of all in, right? I mean, they're just really, promoting Web3 and welcoming Web3. I guess the other side of it is that it is strict. And I think, for example, the stablecoin rules are strict. There are other areas where it's very strict. I think it's difficult to operate an exchange in Japan. Coinbase didn't make it. Kraken didn't make it. They both left the Japanese market. There are various reasons for that, but I think, it's generally known that this is difficult. I think there are also some tax obstacles that remain. Japan recently did relax this one very onerous tax restriction on unrealized gains, but you do still hear a lot of complaints about high taxes for crypto. So it's not exactly the easiest place to do crypto, but like Hong Kong, it's clear and it's welcoming. And I think we will see more crypto businesses kind of looking to Japan and Hong Kong in the future.
How will this affect CBDCs in Japan?
It's a really interesting question. I mean, there's definitely talk of a digital yen, but it's not the same kind of like animated is a very euphemistic term, debate that we see in the United States, right? Like you don't hear, presidential candidates saying that, this is going to be a surveillance mechanism. I mean, you're not really.
They don't have Florida in Japan. That's the problem.
Yeah, exactly. There's not a Japanese version of, DeSantis Florida saying that this is a surveillance instrument. So I don't get the sense right now that there's the same kind of divide between, CBDCs versus stablecoins, and the two of them, can't exist. I mean, I think if the Japanese government thought that, then they, I don't think the road for stablecoins would be as open as it is now. But I think that remains to be seen. I mean, I think it's unclear exactly what is going to happen with the digital yen, but I don't get the sense that they are in this sort of like stark competition in the way that many frame it in the United States.
Emily, thank you for that. It's always a pleasure zooming out and getting the global perspective on this industry with you in an interview with.
All right, glad to share that with you guys. we got this next part that we're going to get into in just a bit. And basically speaking is, we talk about the whole situation with Circle, right? And, it's like, well, there's not really a lot about Tether. There is a little bit about Tether. So if anything, we're going to pull that up as well. Check this out. And then after this, we'll get back into the comments. But let me go ahead and share this with you guys. But basically speaking, I mean, I think we do get some kind of announcement soon. They can't just keep delaying it. I mean, technically speaking, they could. But, why go through all this trouble about the unbanning of all this, right? If you're not going to include the two biggest players, which is basically Tether and Circle. So they gave you that perspective of what's going on with, obviously, Circle. What I'm going to jump into right now is this right here. It's in regards to Tether, because, at the end of the day, why not get into some of this as well? So please smash that like for this. And I've gone ahead and fast forwarded to the Tether segment. This one is only going to be about roughly 3 minutes. Please smash that like. Again, after this, we'll get back into the comments. Thank you for being here. Here we go.
Yeah, look, Japan's definition also means a stable coin can only be issued by licensed banks, by registered money transfer agents. Now, where does that leave the likes of Circle and Tether?
Yeah, I mean, look, Circle, I think Jeremy Allaire at Circle's mentioned that they might be going for a banking license in the US. When it comes to Tether, I'm not actually sure what their plans are. I think the main point here is that it's really around to regulatory costs and how that's going to be weighed up. So even if you take USDC as an example, and can you really expect stablecoin issuers to have licenses in hundreds of countries? Because it will be very, very prohibitive for fintech businesses to go down that route. And so really, I think, Joel, it really comes back down to, how these regulations are going to be written up. Because if every single country requires every single stablecoin to be regulated under their own individual licensing agreements, it's very much like going back to the old fiat or CBBD, as in the central bank digital coin, type product, which is, neither here nor there in growing the crypto ecosystem, in my view.
Yeah, look, historically, Japan has taken the lead in setting some of these crypto regulations, as I mentioned a moment ago, certainly among the developed world. Given that most jurisdictions are now up in the ante, particularly in the aftermath of Terra, what sort of influence could we see from Japanese regulations in particular on these rules that could come up elsewhere?
Japan has been very forward planning on crypto regulation, and historically, we've also seen a proposed bill in the US from Senator Loomis and Gillibrand coming out. If you look at the stablecoin section of that proposed bill, and you again notice a very similar theme to the Japanese one, where it's very pro fiat based, 100% backed in fiat only type stablecoins like USDC, and completely glosses part what is a huge growing part of the stablecoin universe, which is the crypto backed and algo backed stablecoin. So the Japanese are definitely in line with the US on this. So we're hoping that the US takes the lead on how stablecoins will be regulated and how they will look, no matter what type of stablecoin it is. Having said that, though, Joel, one of the things that Japan was being very kind of in the front of is lowering leverage for users. In that front, Japan is very much ahead, and I think leading the way that regulators will see that part of trading, no matter what asset class, to be clear.
All right, listen, Sudhi, thank you so much for that. Great to speak to you as always.
All right, so real quick, basically speaking, we, of course, want to see these pairings be unbanned. We understand what kind of access this will give, tremendous amounts of new volume, especially to Japan, let's face it. But if anything, one of the key things I want to point out is, again, Tara Kona, right? Japan's foreign digital minister, former defense minister for Japan. You got to keep in mind, he's still active in what he's doing and introducing over to Europe, various other countries, and so on. So when you see that report that mentions that, the United States is basically copying the same model of Japan, they're not necessarily taking DFFT like on paper and copying every single thing and calling it DFFT. If anything, they're calling it something different. Are we going to be that much far behind as far as introducing, I guess you could say, this crypto bill, if you will? Well, we'll see what happens with that. But in the time being, if you're getting reports that Terra Luna is literally getting the job done across the board, not just for obviously Japan and Asian countries, but also Europe, the European Union, right? We understand that. What was her name? Margaret Vestager, if I'm not mistaken, key proponent of the European Union, all on board to get this thing really, really going. So if the European Union is literally on board, then that means the rest of the world is on board. So if we have a shift going on and you see the United States copying this, right, just like they said, well, is it going to be Circle first? I think that's what's going to happen. Basically, my own take is it's not going to be both stable coins at once like we're hoping. I think it's going to be Circle USDC first, which I'm not complaining. That's going to allow a whole bunch of new volume to come in. And then Tether will follow second. Currently speaking, Tether takes the cake with what we have here because they simply do more volume. But you got to keep in mind, this is Japan that we're talking about. So we'll have to pay more close attention to this and see what happens. But my guess, if I had to guess and be speculative on the prediction, it might very well get dragged through the mud by the end of the year. Will be perfect timing along with that super wallet. Yeah, but in reality, it's not so much about the super wallet being paired with USDT. That benefits more of the Japanese citizens and, places in Asia, abroad, and so on. Not necessarily so much here. But if their long-term goal for Jasmy is to do secure blockchain PCs, the English versions, then yes, having those pairings is obviously going to make sense. So again, guys, we'll pay attention to what happens with it. I think that concludes the Jasmy coverage. We have a little bit more coverage for you guys in regards to XDC. And jump back into the comments now. Thank you so much for being patient. Please smash that like if you haven't done so already. We're currently at 47 likes. And let's go ahead and turn on some more of these banners for brand awareness. I don't have these highlighted, but I did see some sad news on the other screen in regards to Selmo Flood. Selmo states that his big dog attacked his miniature pinscher, and now Charlie is no more. Now he has to get rid of his big dog because of that, because of 2 hours ago. Still in shock. But you came to let us know about it here. That means a lot, man. I'm so sorry. It is no fun. That's a member of your family. I'm so sorry, man. Really am. That must be really, really tough for you. Heart goes out to you, Selmo. Sorry, man. All right. Sometimes it's hard to just switch from a topic like that to, hey, let's talk more crypto. But yeah, thoughts and prayers with you, my friend. All right. Okay. Gonna get into the last comment that I saw earlier. Just double check the other screen, making sure I didn't miss anything else that was key. I want to welcome Cool Cat Crypto. I guess a super chat did come in while I was giving my spiel. Sorry about that. I want to welcome back Glenn Allen. My God, I haven't seen you in a long time, Glenn. Thank you so much for the $50 super chat. My God. Can you look at KLW Killer Whale? Absolutely, I can do that. I don't know about it, but we'll take a look at it. So let me see if there's any other ones I missed other than your super chat. And give me just a sec because I don't want to dismiss anything. I didn't see anything. So we'll jump into this. Let me see what we got real quick. Gotta go do a search for that real quick. Oh, this looks like this is absolutely brand new. So yeah, you see that we have the DEX pairs. Let me just share the screen real quick. All right. Hold on a second. So according to CMC, this is paired with wrapped Ethereum, and then you also have the Binance. Looks like a Binance bridge. That's cool. All right. Well, maybe I could try to find out some more info about this. KLW Killer Hill. All right. What do we got? This called the Meme Coin Killer. Really? So we got a video on it. Let me see what this guy has to say real quick. Wow, I don't know if I want to share that guy. That guy's crazy. All right. Let me nothing, not that your project's crazy. Let me just see. This guy's just kind of talking funny. He's like, little duck, yeah, little whale, and he's just skit and bang bang. I was like, whoa. All right. Let me see what we got. Got deck screener. Let's pull this up for a second. Maybe that's not the one. What's going on with this? All right, I think this is what you're talking about. Let me jump to that screen real quick. Sorry about that. Hold on. All right, KLW on deck screener. All right, very, very low market cap, 391,000. 53,000 in liquidity. What else we got up in here? Hold on a second. Try to find out some more information. Do you got anything else in the comments about that real quick? You gotta keep in mind, I'm brand new to this, so let's see what else we got up in here. OKX reports a little bit of what's going on with them. I'm just trying to look at for some of the info on this real quick. That's pretty cool that, I mean, they listed on OKX though. I'll show you what I'm talking about real quick. Hold on. Yeah, on here. But I'm not really finding a whole lot. Let me see if I could maybe Twitter. Hold on. KLW Killer Whale Twitter. Obviously, it's going to point me to actual real killer whales. Oh, boy. All right, killer whale token. Let me see if that pulls up anything official. Well, this might be it. You know, and if anything, I mean, if it's brand new, it's brand new, right? You got to get some momentum. So this is what I was able to find just on the surface, guys. You got to keep in mind, like, I don't know much about this. Can't do more of your own research, guys. I'm not endorsing this. Obviously, I just found out about this. So killer whale token will help solve one of the biggest problems in crypto markets, this being market manipulation. Oh, okay. That sounds cool on the surface, is it not? They do have a website. Well, we'll get into that in a second. They have a pinned tweet. That was all the way back in 2018. So this has really been around that long. Huh. That's interesting. Well, maybe we could play this. Hold on a second. Yeah, let's play this real quick. All right. So the concept itself sounds pretty cool. Yeah, that was. But here's my only main thing. I don't know if this is their old Twitter or they got a new one. So that was, of course, pinned back in June 25th of 2018. But I don't see any other tweets there. So I'm gonna go further into the comments. I'll pull up the site. Hopefully, still is their site. And I understand, you know, sometimes people move around their Twitter and whatnot. Let me see. Yeah, that domain doesn't connect to that anymore. You will have to give me a heads up if they have anything else. I'm trying to obviously pull up some info for you, but I'm not really seeing anything else. Let me see if there's another URL. Hold on a second. KLW Killer Whale. All right. I'll type in token. Okay. Dex Guru. Yeah, you're gonna have to let me know, man. Like maybe I'll check Twitter real quick. I want to make this worthwhile for you. You know, I don't want you to feel like you donated $50 and I didn't show Jack Diddley squat, you know. Let me see. I don't see no DMs from you. Yeah, I don't see any of that. So you guys can more than look into this a little bit more. Here's just a tad bit more of this. Obviously, Dex Screener, check it out on there. There's other ones you guys obviously use, right? Shows that OKX does show a listing. All right. And then on top of that, there's this from Twitter. But when you go to killerwhale.io, it doesn't, like, it just says the domain's available. And they haven't tweeted anything out, at least from this source, since 2018, which, you know, I don't know. I mean, obviously the coin still exists, but yeah, we need a new URL and stuff. So, Glenn, I apologize, man. I wish I had more info from you. And if you have it, well, you know, when I get into more comments, I'll be more than glad to pull it up. Thank you, Glenn Allen. Really appreciate you, man. Hopefully you're doing well. All right. I'm going to kick it back to a few more comments. Cool Cat Crypto, welcome. Glad to have you here. Hopefully I pronounced this right. I'm not going to pronounce that right. I'm going to try my best. I can't pronounce that. Let me know how to pronounce that. I'm going to call you Monte. Monty. Hey, new here. Well, welcome. And if I butchered up your name, I'm sorry. I have a very unique name myself. You know, Max is what friends and a lot of colleagues call me and so on. But my original first name, it's been butchered up since I was in kindergarten. So I totally know how that goes. But nonetheless, your last name, Kennedy. Hopefully that's how to pronounce it. Welcome, man. Glad to have you here. Any questions or comments you have, feel free to drop it. Let's go ahead and welcome Mr. Kennedy. All right. Tennessee Eco Man, welcome back. He says, if the banks use Q&T, I could only imagine a bank would pay good interest and be backed by the FDIC. All right. Let's see here. Let's go further down. Just trying to see if you guys any specific questions or comments. All right. I'll read this one. Corey Bibe. He knows that Hyundai has a partnership with IONQ, which is a quantum computing company. Interesting that Hedera is a partner with Hyundai now as well. Very interesting. Yeah, it is very interesting. All right. Let me see what else you guys got. Michael Cornwell's in the house. Glad to have you here. Crypto Mike, Michael Cornwell. All right. Just got to turn on some more of that branding and stuff like that. We will get in some of that XTC that you tagged me on, Mike. Glad to have you do that. Thank you. I did see it when I was on Crypto Twitter. All right. Let me see what other comments you guys got and make sure I don't skip over anything specific. I want to welcome Dave D. Glad to have you. Maddie B. Also, welcome. 602 baby. Yep, same here. Maybe there was. I didn't see it. So, you know, I was trying to stay inside, stay cool, because it's been hotter than a mother lately, right? Yeah. All right, GG's got a comment. He said, Japan needs 1-1. We are having some fun in the bedroom all day, Luke. Matty B, depending on what job he has, a lot of Italian work too. Anytime you can. Okay. All right, kids are expensive. Let's also welcome XRP Boss, welcome XRP Boss. She says, hey, internet family, smash the like button. Thanks so much, XRP Boss. Here's a dab. Boom. All right. Yeah, welcome again to Soma Flood. Again, so sorry about the bad news, man. This will also welcome Mr. Blue Whale Ricky, aka B Ricky. That's what 2-Bit does. That's a cool looking robot, man. Old school with the cassette tape. I like that. All right. So who else is up in here? Quite a few people, I guess. All right. Let's see what we got. Robert Brewer, welcome back. Welcome back. Glad to have you. Obviously Simon Greco's back to hold on a second. Ugh. To me, it's clear that Japan has embraced Web3, and I also will be part of this journey. Yeah, absolutely. Circle and Stellar have part. Yeah, of course. You know, Circle USDC used to be formerly known as Stellar USDC. So, all right. Yeah, I'm gonna get to that tag in just a second. And let's see here. Yeah, I'm sorry about that. It's just, you know, I'm doing my spiel like not, you know how it goes. Jose Mesquiz says, F it. I hit my pinky toe on the corner of the bed. Oh my God, that sounds painful. That sounds super, super painful, man. And that is Jay. So I say Jose, that's Jay from Twitter. Well, glad to have you here, Jay. And thank you so much for all the awesome, you know, quant thumbnails and stuff you've been making. Very cool. I will start using some in the future for, like, you know, future quant videos. It's gonna be pretty cool. All right, please smash that like. Rashad Williams, welcome. Free XRP Vale or Valley. I don't know. Let's also welcome Maria Rivera. Welcome, welcome. I mean, I don't know. They didn't say anything about that. And he is a guy that normally just watches us anyway, but I mean, they're more than welcome to reach out. All right. Scam coin. Huh. Interesting. All right. Kalo Mariquin. Brother, I love your channel. I have a tough name too. Kalo, or maybe it's Chalo. I don't know. Like Kylo Ren. Oh, okay. Kylo. Oh. Can you talk about the XTC pump today? Yeah, sure. We're going to get to that in just a bit because Mr. Elon Muff, aka Mike Cornwell, has got some info for us. I want to welcome longtime supporter, CTN member, aka Crypto Winner, Hump Not Dump, aka Badir. He says, yo, 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 what's up, everyone? Glad to have you here. I'm sure at some point of the show, we'll hear something about the Mr. Market Maker, because that's what he always does. That's okay. All right. Yeah, no problem. All right, so let's kick it into that real quick. We obviously did the Jasmine spiel, talked about some key things. I will share two things. I'm going to get to Mike Cornwell's tag, but I'm also going to talk about another thing that we have in regards to XDC. All right, does that sound good? So let's talk about this for a brief moment. Just trying to clear up my tabs real quick. All right. So here we go. And this will be the last bit of coverage that we have for tonight, believe it or not. It will be a super long show tonight. All right. So check this out. Boom. Let's pull this up. So this is first XSwap. Now you may be thinking, why start off with this first? All right. So it says XSwap is ripping again. Absolutely ripping again. The DEX of XDC, we know about this. $3 million market cap was significantly less, right? Remember when it was below $1 million, you guys were all saying, you got to get some XSwap. Yeah. Firm believer, right? A working wallet is basically really slick, and staking is great. XDC adaptation picks, you know, this one could moon. It already has mooned. You know, how much has it moved? Well, check out some of these stats. This is crazy. I remember calling Mike Cornwell on the phone about this. So look at this, guys. I mean, on the 30-day chart, 322% roughly. Isn't that not amazing? If you're wondering, well, this must have been reported a while ago. No, this was reported earlier this morning, August 2nd. Today is August 2nd. So XSwap. You guys always talk about XSwap, GBEX. So I'm sure you're more than glad. Hopefully you guys took some profits on that. If you didn't, hey, teach us on, right? You got to do what you got to do. Very cool. Very worth pointing out, right? Want to know more about XSwap? Yeah, look at that. The wallet, your trusted crypto wallet. Pretty cool. Pretty impressive. Now, in regards to CMC, here's what's going on with XSwap on CMC currently on the 24-hour chart. That was impressive what you saw on the 30-day chart, but 16% up, 7-day chart, 53% up. Shiba Doge, I think they're moving liquidity around. I mean, there's no way we're going to like a V2. I don't know. I have to double check that because if that's the case, I gotta merge my tokens, and I hate doing that stuff. But because I have on Coinbase wallet, I can't do the automatic merge like Bitmart. So I have to find out about that. If you hold Shiba Doge like myself, I know Max is talking about meme tokens. Yeah, you gotta keep in mind this is one of the ones I got into, right? I think early 2022. So like the last days of me getting into some of this stuff. So yeah, I have to see what's going on with that because got to. All right, but yeah, XSwap, right? Currently ranked 3,312, built on XDC. That's cool. As we go further down, here's what's going on with XDC. You do see, even on the 1-hour chart, something might be forming there. You guys talked about how XDC, we touched, 0.07677. Yeah, we're above, 7.5 cents. How cool is that? Remember when this thing was literally below 2 cents this time last year? Yeah, you guys are really happy about this. I'm happy about it. I have a decent amount of XDC. I'm not, Maximus, the XDC commander. I'm not in that territory yet, but someday, maybe. I don't know if I ever get to the Salamander's position, but that's not the point. All right. But yeah, ranked 43 overall, 22% up for the 7-day chart. Pretty cool stuff. All right, so let's get into about the last part of what we have. And basically speaking, it is from the one and only Mr. Mike Cornwell, aka Elon Muff. All right. What is this? I gotta show this real quick. This is from Mr. OG Crypto 1 minute ago. Mr. Gangsta. What is this, OG Crypto? My God. He just says, wow. Oh, okay. I get it. I was like, what? He's sharing a cat, man. All right. This is from Mike Cornwell. He says, peep this. And look at this. August 25th to 26th. We talked about this a while back, right? Remember a few months ago talking about, hey, if you guys are going to be in the Austin, Texas area and so on, might want to check this out. So it's going to happen at the end of this month. And we'll pull this up. So the countdown has begun to the most disruptive blockchain event of 2023, 4 weeks into the XDC Live 2023. If you got the means necessary to make it to there, I mean, why not? I mean, Cool Cat Crypto, don't you live in Texas, San Antonio? How far is Austin from where you're at? Anyway, I've never been to Austin. I've been to San Antonio. I was there for a day. Wish I could have spent more time there. Nice city. I've been to Houston. And then I've been to Dallas. I went there 2 years in a row, right? So I've also been to the armpit of America. No offense to anybody, right? El Paso. It's just not exactly the greatest place, but I've been through there as well. But yeah, there's more information about this. It's basically going to take place at the, what's it called? The Long Center for the Performing Arts. Within less than 4 weeks, the event organizers wanted to provide an update on the sponsors, speakers, and fun. Because remember, we did talk about this before. So I guess there is an update. And that's cool. I'm glad they're not just sharing the same old news, right? They got to update. We're extremely pleased with the level of excitement and support we've received for this event. According to Trey Nelson, founder of XDC, or on XDC, I should say. We're expecting an amazing group of blockchain enthusiasts as of today, an impressive list of sponsors and world-renowned keynote speakers from some of the most dynamic and innovative blockchain tech. I mean, of course, they got to make it sound great, right? But it is great. But yeah, companies in the world are going to be there. It's going to be one of the best blockchain tech networking experiences in Austin this year. They have a hackathon. What else have they got? There's been a lot of interest from the Ethereum community. Well, yeah, obviously. I mean, this is a fork of Ethereum, just a lot more efficient, a lot more faster, more secure. This is a unique opportunity to build in the back of a decentralized hybrid, permissionless, and self-sovereign technologies enabled by the EVM-compatible XDC ecosystem. This is a first ever 2-day event. If you're going to attend to this event, it says that you can expect to personally engage with industry thought leaders while learning from a unique panel of, various distinguished speakers, fireside chats, VIP networking experiences. This is more than expected, right? You're going to have some of these guys: Uphold, Decent Wallet, Expectar, Loot Up. Obviously, some people from the XDC Foundation. That's to be expected, right? Some keynote speakers, I guess, right? Here's obviously Quincy Jones. That's a big name. Andre Casterman. There's some other speakers here. James Rule, XRP. What else I want to point out? If you're wondering what's the purpose of this event, it says to grow the blockchain ecosystem exponentially year over year. To facilitate that growth, they're going to invite the most dynamic and innovative blockchain tech companies and developers from around the world. I think that's a little reiteration of what they just mentioned earlier. I don't know if anybody can attend this virtually speaking, maybe like buy a virtual ticket. Maybe. I don't know. Look more into it. You can buy tickets at onxdcnetwork.events. Just out of curiosity, I'm sure that the tickets might be pretty pricey. Those are some pretty cool looking virtual tickets. I have to say that. All right. So let's say if you're going to buy with fiat, right? I mean, I know we could buy with XDC, but let's say you're going to buy with fiat. How much would it cost? And for what kind of ticket is that? That is for early registration or VIP. So a regular ticket. Let's see how much this is. Wow. Yeah, I was expecting it to be pretty expensive. I knew it was going to be up there like with XRP's Vegas event. On XDC Live, Blockchain Innovation Conference and Developer Summit. Cheapest ticket is $100 to $1,499. I would imagine that the $100 ones, I'm just throwing it out there. I mean, you can look more into it yourself. Might be like a virtual ticket, not like a physical ticket. I don't know. Let's see if I'm right. So, XDC Foundation sponsored tickets. So you got to find out more about that. University of Texas student tickets. Obviously, we're not students. I mean, to there at least. General admission early bird specials, $250 plus tax. The general admission, if you didn't take advantage of the early bird, is $500 plus tax. My God. VIP, backstage pass, a VIP dinner, $1,500 plus tax. So find out more details. I mean, like I said, XTC Foundation sponsored tickets. To me, if I had to take a guess, I don't know. Imagine that's some kind of virtual thing, but I could be wrong. All right. Glad to share that with you guys. I think that might just wrap up everything that we have tonight. Let me just double check crypto Twitter real quick. All right. Let's see. I think that's it. So, yeah, we're going to read the last bit of comments, and then after that, we're going to get going. Maria Rivera, good work, Max. Well, thanks. Unless that's like sarcastic, as in like, good work, Max. The guy dropped a $50 super chat, and you finally got into his super chat 20 minutes later. So, good work, not playing. I don't know. Whatever the case be. Thank you, Maria. Consider changing your avatar. Something speaks more about who you are and what you're about. Everybody give Maria Rivera a warm welcome. All right. What is this? Max Danica, bro. Danica. Was there a new one? Let me see. Let me see if there's a new one. I know why everybody's leaving. Crypto Hulk is live. Of course people are going to be leaving. Oh, I haven't left, Max. I watch you simultaneously. That's okay. I understand. All right, let me see. Is there a new one? There is not a new one. But okay, I'll just play the Danica one for the heck of it. Like I said, I'm his trained monkey. Danica Max. Boom. All right. I will. Jeez. All right, let's play this. Okay. You take off some of this stuff. Maybe I don't need to. All right, let's just present this. All right, here we go. Let me come out of the frame for a second. Most of you guys have seen this. Here we go.
What's your name? Danica, I'm Larry. You got your choice here. Your choice is we'll give you a really super nice tip, or we'll give you these 4 scratch-off tickets, but you can only pick one. The 4 scratch-offs or a really nice tip from us.
I got a question though.
Sure.
What are the prices of scratch-off tickets?
The most you can win on each card is $7,000 per card.
Okay. I think I'm going to take the tip this time.
This is your lucky day because we're also going to give you the scratch-offs too.
Really?
We're going to give you a nice tip
Oh,
too.
thank you guys. Scratch-off
Yeah.
number 1. I think that's nothing.
Oh, man.
Second one.
Hopefully you're lucky.
Is that one nothing too?
What do we get? Nothing here? You got 2 more tries. It's a lucky 7. So. Oh, cool.
This one's a lucky one, I feel it. Okay, maybe it's not. I see $1. Oh no. All right, make sure you guys watch Crypto Talk Now. Every night, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time with Max and Larry.
All right, there you go. One last time. That was pretty cool. All right. Yes, I did. Which was to look into that, you mean? Unless I missed something else. I didn't think I did. All right. Let's see here. We're gonna go further down. Austin is 90 miles. Oh, okay. Well, I mean, 90 miles is 90 miles. I don't know. I mean, you're more than welcome. If you don't make it, you don't make it. Maybe you just, instead of going to that, you buy more XDC. I don't know. Yeah, that's a good point, man. Congratulations on that. Yeah. All right. See what else you guys got. Cool Cat, that project is dropping blockchain paper at Austin. A lot of great live music in Austin. Remember, what was that movie? What the heck was it? Road Trip. Tom Green, where he's like, I don't know. She went to Boston, or was it Austin? Remember that? Anyway, that person got all mixed up. Yeah, Larry win next Danica video. Who knows? All right. Let's see here. Energizing energy. No Fear says boom. Welcome, No Fear. Kylo, remember, I'm gonna say right, Mero Quinn. Thanks, Max. Have a great night. You too, man. Have a great night. I hope to see more of you. And yeah, you're referring to Crypto Hulk for sure on that one. I'm here, not simultaneously. That's okay. I don't care if you guys are. I mean, you gotta watch Crypto Hulk. You're gonna watch Crypto Hulk. You don't have to, you know. Well, Max, I've been watching you for a long time now, but Crypto Hulk came on, and I'm telling you, man, this is the best part of the show. He literally takes like a real nice, good gob of, you know, Barbasol, and he just like smears it all over, right? And then he takes a real nice, you know, smooth bore razor, and this is the segment that I tune into the most. It's my favorite part of the whole show, because he just takes that right off, and man, it's just wonderful. Well, I can't blame you for that. You know, I would probably mute myself too to basically view that. You know what I mean? And there's nothing wrong with it. You know, there's a reason why you listen to his deep dives, and there's a reason why you pause what I'm saying for those particular segments. No one's gonna hold that against you. You know, and if anything, you might make an NFT out of that. You know, Crypto Hulk NFT. You know, razor. You know, smooth bore razor NFTs. I mean, you know, it might be a thing. You never know. You might be making like a video game or something like that. You know, it's just like, you get to play the role of Cool Cat Crypto, who, over the course of 2 years time plus of watching his show, is coughing up hairballs. What hairballs are they? From all the times that he consumed the hair that fell off of, whose back and fell onto the floor after he shaved some of this, coughing up Crypto Hulk hairballs. I'm just saying, I mean, it's a possibility. Make a video game out of it. Sounds kind of disgusting, but nevertheless, the crazier things that have happened. So there you go. All right, let's read a few more comments. $1,000 super chat. I already read that. I already got you your thing. And in reality, if it was a $1,000 super chat, how's that going to benefit me? I'm not going to see a single penny of that. You know what I mean? No offense, but I'm not. So anyway, all right. The French toast, haha, told her Austin and it was Boston. Yes, that's what it was from Road Trip. Yeah. Danica is greater than the Hulk. Or hold on. Yeah, greater than the Hulk. I would choke to death on all that. Yes. And if anything, the residue of the this is getting sick, Yeah. Anyway. That will be it. So $1,000 super chats. Send me $10,000 super chat. Either way, I mean, it's just like, how does that even work? What are they gonna do? They're gonna, if you actually sent $1,000 super chat, I mean, think about it for a second. How would that even work? So it's like, that'd be like literally taking $1,000 and YouTube decides to take their fee, and then the U.S. government takes their share. That it'd be like a complete waste. It'd be like if I literally took $1,000, actually $1,000, and flushed, I don't know, $300 of that just right down the toilet, and be like, oh hey, look at my $1,000 super chat. You know what I mean? Anyway, all right. Yes, there you go. All right, you guys have a great night. We'll see you back tomorrow for Thursday, 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific for more Crypto Talk Now. In the meantime, if you want to see more of Cool Cat Crypto, I'm sure he'll be featured over at Crypto Hulk. He will tell Crypto Hulk of all the great use case of BSV. And then Crypto Hulk will say, you know what, Cool Cat Crypto? You are the local neighborhood cat. And I've been paying attention to everything you've been telling me day in and day out for the last 2+ years. You need to unveil yourself like Scooby-Doo, like we talked about yesterday. Is David Schwartz the real monster behind everything that we talked about yesterday? Will he be unveiling himself? I don't know. You mean U.S. government steals their portion? Exactly. That's exactly what I mean. Then on top of that, we have YouTube or Google, whatever you want to call it. Anyway, you guys have a great night. Peace out. Thank you very much.